Have you ever been told to write a short story and somehow ended up outlining a trilogy instead? Or even worse, you stare at a prompt, you have 3,000 words max, and your brain just goes blank because suddenly every idea feels too big, too complicated, too impossible to contain in just a few pages. Here's the problem. Everybody tells you to go write a short story, but nobody actually teaches you how short stories work. So you either overwrite, underwrite, or panic. Today, all of that is going to change. I'm going to give you a simple, easy to follow structure that works for any genre, so you can stop trying to cram an entire novel into 5,000 words and finally write something short, sharp, and powerful that still feels like a complete story arc. Welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Abby and I help writers make their stories matter and make their author dreams come true. If that's something you're on a mission to do, you're going to want to subscribe to this channel. I post every Wednesday and I would love to have you here in the community. Also, before we get into the video, I want to just say quickly that my new book, Make Your Story Matter, is now available for pre-order, plus some amazing pre-order bonuses. This is not another boring writing guide, you guys. It is an interactive guide to unlocking your brain's natural storytelling instincts and writing a book readers love. It has been my life's work for the past 3 years, and I would just be honored if you went and pre-ordered it. The link is below this video. Okay, before we get into the short story template, there is one important thing I need to get out of the way, and that is your mindset shift. If you are a long-form storyteller like me, it can feel nearly impossible to fit your ideas into the context of a short story because all your ideas are too big, too complex, and focus on a complete character transformation, which is wonderful if you're writing a novel. Not so wonderful if you've been given a 3,000 or 5,000 word count limit. So the key mindset shift here is this. A novel tracks a transformation. A short story tracks a decision under pressure. That works in any genre. So let's walk through my one-size-fits-most 7-beat short story template. This structure is inspired by the 3-act story structure, which you guys know I love, and it is basically adapted to be a short story of any length, of any genre. So before we get into the beats, let's define your overarching story question. Okay, this is going to be at the heart and soul of your story. It's going to be your guiding compass throughout this whole process. And essentially, it's this framework. By the end of this story, will the protagonist choose blank or blank? That is the heart and soul of your story. Not will they grow as a person? Will they heal from their childhood wounds? Will they change the world? We don't need to know all that. That's for like a novel, trilogy, longer form writing. In this story, we are just following one meaningful choice and the events that lead them to that choice. That's it. So now let's break down the 7 beats one at a time. Beat number 1, set the container. What do I mean by the container? Not that your characters are actually being put in like a Tupperware container, but the story itself is a container. Okay, and you need to define what that container is before you start writing this short story, so that you don't let yourself wander outside the container. Usually the container of a short story centers around a single event or a single location. Some sort of closed system that these characters are interacting inside of. And that can be anything you want it to be depending on what type of story you're writing. So the things you want to establish right away are who the protagonist is right now, where are we, keep it contained, what they currently believe, and the immediate problem this character is facing. And important to remember that you do not want to world build extensively here. Only show what matters to the character immediately in this moment. This is the beat that we're starting the story with, and we're going to end this beat when something disrupts the character's life. So maybe they're walking into a situation where they think they know how it's gonna go, and then something disrupts their plan. Boom, that's beat number 1, and it counts for the first 10 to 15% of your word count. Okay, beat number 2 is the inciting incident. Something happens to force your character outside their comfort zone, or force them into the ring with a confrontation of some kind. Maybe it's a confrontation with another character, or with their fear, or with a situation that they did not expect to have to deal with. This event should introduce a problem, a threat, an opportunity, or a demand. It creates urgency or stakes, and it cannot be ignored. You could even sketch this in your outline as the protagonist now wants, but the obstacle is, and you end this beat when they decide to engage with the problem, to step outside their comfort zone. They make that impossible choice to face the discomfort, And that's where we lead into the next story beat. And this third beat is going to be around the 30% mark of your story. Now, these beats don't have to be at these percentage marks, but I'm just giving you those percentage marks so that if you are limited as to word count, you can track how many words you need to get up to that 100% point. And you can stop yourself from writing too much and digressing too much into any of these plot points. So beat number 3 is escalation and complication. So this is your protagonist's first attempt to handle the situation, and it's probably going to go badly. So they try to face their fear or confront the discomfort in the most obvious way, but it's not going to go according to plan. For this part of your outline, I want you to write down what your protagonist does and what goes wrong or complicates things. At this point in the story, they are figuring out that this isn't going to be a simple situation for them to deal with. It's going to challenge them both internally and externally. And this is also the moment where your character's internal flaw or fear should be showing itself a little bit. We should start to see what they're dealing with beneath the surface, the internal struggle at play here. And this is where your story starts to look different depending on what genre you're writing. So maybe if you're writing romance, this is where tension deepens between the two characters. If you're writing a thriller, danger escalates. Fantasy, rules of the world complicate things. Mystery, a clue is discovered. So depending on what genre you're writing, this beat might look very different, but find ways to use your story world and use your existing characters and situations to create obstacles and conflict. That's what this story beat is all about. And that brings us to about the 50% mark of your story, which is when we arrive at the midpoint shift. This is where we get new information or some type of shocking reversal or plot twist or some emotional shift that changes the game a little bit. So something changes the stakes. Maybe a secret is revealed. The antagonist closes in. An uncomfortable truth surfaces. The emotional cost becomes clearer. Now the protagonist realizes the real problem is actually fill in that blank. This beat gives your story a sense of urgency and momentum, like the stakes are being raised. Something is escalating. It's not just a flat line. And at this point in the story, it becomes harder for your protagonist to avoid confrontation or discomfort. And of course, that leads us into beat number 5, which is the confrontation. So this is going to show up around the 60 to 70% mark of your story. And this is where your protagonist can no longer hide from the thing they've been avoiding. They are going to face the danger, face the discomfort head on, maybe even just face their own fears. And this is the climactic moment for them. Depending on your story, maybe they confront the antagonist, the obstacle in their path, or the truth. Their worst fear or tension surfaces. And stakes feel immediate and impossible to ignore. So as you're brainstorming this section, write down what my protagonist must face at this moment and the old belief or flaw or fear that they're still clinging to. You can end this beat with a failure or a setback or a near loss, or you could end this beat with a victory of some kind, or maybe even a false victory. And finally, around the 70 to 85% mark of your story, we have beat number 6, which is the choice. This is where your protagonist has to make that meaningful decision we talked about in the beginning. This is going to be the choice that determines the outcome of the story. So maybe they have to choose between safety versus risk, truth versus comfort, staying versus leaving, loyalty versus survival, love versus pride, resentment versus forgiveness. So what does your protagonist choose in this moment? That's the question I want you to think about and write down your answer to. In this moment, my protagonist is going to choose this over that. This is the emotional climax, the thing that makes your story feel satisfying and like it has a complete character arc, even though it's contained in a very short amount of time in a small number of words. And finally, beat number 7 is the aftermath. This is going to bring us from 85% mark to the 100% mark. And this is where we show the immediate consequences of your protagonist's choice. Do not explain the next 5 years. Don't go into a big long epilogue. Don't feel like you have to wrap up every loose end. And don't feel like you have to justify their choice through a bunch of lengthy, internal reflections and monologue. Just show the new reality. Show the hint at the future. And you can even end this abruptly. You can end it on a cliffhanger. You can end it on a sudden left hook that we never saw coming. The final image of a short story is really where all your power is. It's where you have the power to make your reader think about your story long after they've finished it. It's also where you have the power to make them hungry to read more of your work. And this is why it can be really, really powerful to end the final beat number 7, with some sort of reflection that calls back to beat number 1. So for example, if beat number 1 was order, we end with disruption. If it was in isolation, we end with connection. If the protagonist was in a state of fear, we end with them in a state of courage. If it started with control, we end with surrender. Bring the story full circle in a way that feels satisfying. And that can be your narrative choice completely. You have total creative freedom here. But just think about ways that you can mirror the ending with the beginning to make your story feel complete and whole, not just like a random scene that was plucked out of a novel, but like it is its own journey and its own progression by itself. It can stand alone and still be a powerful work of fiction. And if you're a novelist, please resist the urge to explain everything and make it neat and tidy. Your brain will automatically want to wrap everything up in a nice neat bow or continue to the next plot point and keep the story going. Don't let yourself go there. If you have a distinct ending point, you have a cap on how many words you can make this short story be, let it end there. So as you can see, this 7-beat structure is not plot specific. It's not genre specific. It can work for any genre. So you can easily take this framework and plug in a dragon attack, a heist, a breakup, a dinner party, a murder accusation, a magic spell gone wrong, a moral dilemma, a paranormal encounter, or a quiet inner reckoning. This structure holds up no matter what internal or external conflict you're writing about. And if you're like me and you get carried away with word count and you're way too long-winded and you think you're gonna write less than you actually write, here's the secret sauce for staying inside your word count limit. Choose one central conflict. Choose one primary setting or tightly linked spaces. Stay in your container. No subplots, no unnecessary side characters, no backstory scenes or flashbacks, only implied history, and end at the final decision, not beyond it. And if you're ever confused during the process and you're still not sure, ask yourself, why does this moment in time matter to my character? That can literally be your guiding compass throughout this whole process. Because as I always say, if we don't know why it matters to them, that's right, we don't know why it matters to us. Now, if you're watching this right now and you're thinking,
okay, Abby, I get the structure, but how do I actually use it?
I'm hosting a special live training this weekend where we are going to outline a short story together, like real time, blank page, 7 prompts, building a story from scratch. I'll show you how to use the template in real time, how to make decisions, how to avoid overcomplicating it, and how to keep it tight and sharp and powerful without accidentally writing a novel. So if you've ever frozen up at the thought of writing a short story and you're like, how do I even start? This workshop is for you. It's happening Sunday, April 12th at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you can't make it to the live stream, don't worry, you will still have access to watch the replay at your own pace whenever you want. I'm excited because this is gonna be a little bit different than our typical live trainings. This is gonna be more like a workshop where we are actually getting into the process and breaking down every beat of this story structure and showing you in real time what the brainstorming outlining process looks like. So make sure you click the link below to save your spot. Space is limited. I will see you on Sunday. Comment below and tell me, are you writing a short story? And if so, what is the central story question that it centers around? See if you can contain it in one sentence and drop it in the comments below, because I love to see what you guys are working on. If you got value out of this video, be sure to smash that like button and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, because I would love to have you here in the community. Also, don't forget to pre-order your copy of Make Your Story Matter and unlock some exclusive bonuses. The link for that is below as well. Now, if you're feeling confident about your short story's plot, but you have no idea how to craft your main character's internal conflict, I would highly recommend checking out this video where I share my go-to formula for writing juicy internal conflict. It's a great next watch for anybody embarking on a new short story. So I will see you over there, or I'll see you in the next one. Until then, my friend, happy writing, and as always, rock on.